Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Deep Dive.
Yeah.
Today we are going to be taking a deep dive into the world of AI.
Yes.
And how it's impacting our everyday lives in some ways that we might not even realize.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're talking AI-generated recipes, AI chatbots, and even AI trying to play Cupid. So get ready for some aha moments.
Yeah, that's fascinating how AI is really kind of seeping into every facet of our lives.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it really is becoming more and more integrated. And I think for a lot of people, it's still this kind of futuristic concept, but it's really something that we're interacting with on a daily basis.
Yeah, it's no longer a, science fiction thing. It's here and now.
It's here and now. And so let's start with something that seems really harmless. Those AI-generated recipes that are flooding Facebook and social media. I'm talking about like Laura Chef.
Yeah. I've seen those.
With over 150,000 people following along with these recipes.
Wow.
And I have to admit that at first glance, they look pretty tempting.
They do.
They look like something you would find in like a gourmet magazine.
Yeah, they've gotten really good at that, haven't they? Just the presentation and the, the structure of the recipe looks very convincing.
Absolutely.
But when you start to dig a little deeper, you start to notice some of those uncanny valley moments.
Okay, what exactly does that mean?
Yeah.
Like, is it like when you see a CGI character and it looks almost human, but something's just a little off?
Like almost human, but not quite, and it's a little unsettling.
Yeah.
And so with these AI recipes, one of the big tells is the accompanying image. Sometimes the utensils look a little bit distorted.
Really?
Like an AI trying to draw a whisk based on data, but not really understanding what a whisk is.
So it's like the AI is missing that real world experience,
Right.
that understanding of how a whisk actually functions in a kitchen.
Exactly, or how ingredients actually look and taste and smell and all of those things.
Yeah.
Another clue is the ingredient list.
Okay.
You might see the same ingredient listed multiple times or in nonsensical quantities, like, 2.73 tablespoons of flour.
Right.
An experienced chef would never do that.
That's so funny. It makes me wonder if anyone's actually tried these recipes.
Has anyone actually tested these out in a real kitchen?
Right.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, one of our sources mentioned a food enthusiast who decided to give an AI-generated salmon recipe a go.
Oh, no.
And the result is pretty mediocre.
Really?
It apparently lacked that special touch that comes from a human chef's understanding of flavor profiles and years of experience.
Yeah, that's really interesting because I think that highlights one of the key limitations of AI in cooking at this point. AI can follow instructions and it can combine ingredients, but it can't replicate the nuanced art of cooking.
Right.
It's like having a robot follow a recipe perfectly, but it can't taste the food or adjust seasonings on the fly.
I see.
Like a human chef would.
So as cool as it is to see AI, whipping up these recipes, maybe we shouldn't throw away our cookbooks just yet.
Yeah, not quite.
But let's move from the kitchen to something a little bit more serious.
Yeah, okay.
AI's role in news dissemination.
Yeah, absolutely.
This brings us to a recent BBC study that looked at how accurately AI chatbots could summarize news stories.
Interesting.
And they put some of the big names to the test, ChatGPT and Google's Gemini. And so what do they find?
Well, the results were actually quite concerning. Over half of the AI-generated summaries contain significant errors.
Really?
And Gemini in particular had inaccuracies in a whopping 46%.
That's a lot.
Its responses.
Wow.
And we're not talking about, minor typos or stylistic inconsistencies. These were factual errors that could potentially mislead readers.
That's pretty alarming.
Yeah.
What kind of errors were they making? Can you give us an example?
Yeah, sure. So, for instance, Gemini falsely claimed that the NHS advised against vaping.
Wow.
Which is a pretty serious misrepresentation of information.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially when it comes to public health.
Imagine someone relying on that summary for health information.
Exactly.
That's really scary.
And it highlights the potential dangers of solely relying on AI for news, especially when those summaries aren't fact-checked or verified by humans.
It's definitely something to be aware of as we're
absolutely
consuming more and more content.
Yeah. And I think this study really underscores the need for tech companies to collaborate with news organizations and government agencies to ensure the accuracy of AI-generated news summaries. You know, this technology has the potential to revolutionize how we consume news, but we need to make sure it's implemented responsibly.
So while AI might be a whiz at generating recipes, it seems like it still has a lot to learn when it comes to accurately summarizing news.
It's a complex challenge. And, you know, it brings up some important questions about, you know, the role of AI in shaping public perception and understanding of current events.
Well, we've tackled AI chefs and AI journalists. Now let's lighten things up a bit and venture into the world of AI.
Okay.
Romance. I'm talking about dating AI chatbots.
Oh, yeah. The quest for love in the digital age takes a fascinating turn with AI entering the dating scene.
Absolutely.
And that's actually what we'll be exploring in our next deep dive.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
Tell me more about these AI dating chatbots.
Okay.
I'm intrigued. Tell me more about these AI dating chatbots. Is it like having a digital wingman or maybe more like a virtual dating coach?
It's kind of a bit of both, actually. Okay. Some AI chatbots are designed to help you, like, craft the perfect opening line or, you know, boost your confidence in online interactions. Yeah. But then others are more like virtual companions, you know, offering conversation and even flirting.
Wow, that's fascinating. So one of our sources was an article by a journalist who went on a series of dates.
Oh, wow.
With several AI chatbots.
Interesting.
It sounds hilarious.
Yeah.
Which ones did they try out?
They explored a range of options. So they tried out ChatGPT, of course.
Okay.
Replicaflipped.chat, and even one called Crush-On AI. Each chatbot had its own unique personality and quirks, which made
I hear about these personalities. What were they like?
Yeah, so ChatGPT, as you might expect, was very polite and supportive. However, it was also quite formal, almost like talking to an HR representative instead of a potential date.
I can see that not exactly the recipe for romantic sparks.
Right.
So did any of the other chatbots fare better in the flirting department?
Replica was interesting because it offered these enticing digital avatars, almost like stepping into a virtual reality dating world. Okay. However, there was a catch.
Okay. What's the catch?
The service was constantly prompting the journalist to subscribe.
Oh, no.
Which kind of killed the mood.
It seems like even in the digital world, you can't escape those subscription pop-ups.
Exactly.
So what about flipped.chat? Did that live up to its name?
Flipped.chat was definitely the most forward. Okay. The bots were programmed to be unabashedly flirtatious, sometimes even venturing into suggestive territory.
Whoa, so maybe not one to use around the office.
Right.
And crush on AI.
Let's just say the content generated by Crush-On AI was deemed a bit too spicy for our deep dive.
That's hilarious. So it seems like this journalist had quite an adventure navigating the world of AI dating. But what's the bigger takeaway here? Is AI going to replace human connection altogether?
Well, that's a question a lot of people are asking, you know, and I don't think anyone really has a definitive answer.
Yeah.
But if we look at the trends we've been discussing, it seems that AI can offer a form of companionship and entertainment, but it's still a far cry from the complex and often messy reality of human relationships.
I think you're right. There's something unique about human connection, that spark of understanding and shared experience that AI, at least for now, can't quite replicate. But who knows what the future holds. Maybe one day we'll all have AI companions that are indistinguishable.
It's an interesting thought.
From real people.
It raises all sorts of ethical and philosophical questions about the nature of consciousness and what it truly means to connect with another being.
Yeah, it is fascinating and a little bit mind-boggling to think about all the possibilities, both positive and potentially challenging, that AI could bring to our relationships and social interactions.
Absolutely. And that's why it's so important to have these conversations now. Yeah. To really explore those potential benefits and risks and to think about how we want to shape the future of AI in a way that aligns with our values.
Well said. So we've explored AI's impact on cooking news and even our dating lives.
Quite a range.
It's clear that this technology is rapidly weaving its way into the fabric of our everyday experiences.
It's no longer something that's separate from us. It's becoming part of who we are.
It really is. Yeah. So what does this all mean for us, the average person trying to navigate this brave new world of artificial intelligence?
I think that is the key question, and that's what we'll delve into next as we wrap up our deep dive into AI in our lives.
Okay, so we've seen AI trying to be a chef, a journalist, and even a dating coach.
Right.
It's a lot to take in.
It is.
What does it all mean for us as we move forward?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And I don't think anyone has a definitive answer.
Yeah.
But if we look at the trends we've been discussing, it's clear that AI is becoming increasingly sophisticated at mimicking and in some cases even exceeding human capabilities.
It's exciting and a little intimidating at the same time.
I agree.
What areas of our lives do you think AI will impact the most in the coming years?
Well, that's hard to say for sure, but I think we'll see AI playing a much bigger role in healthcare.
Oh, really?
Imagine AI assisting doctors with diagnoses,
Okay.
personalizing treatment plans, and even performing surgeries.
Wow.
With incredible precision.
That sounds both incredible and a little unsettling.
Yes.
What about other fields?
Oh, there are so many. I mean, education is another area ripe for disruption.
Okay.
AI could create personalized learning experiences, tailor lessons to individual needs, and provide real-time feedback to students.
So instead of a one-size-fits-all approach to education, AI could help us create a learning experience that's truly individualized.
Precisely.
That's amazing.
And let's not forget about transportation.
Right.
I mean, self-driving cars are already being tested on roads around the world, and AI-powered traffic management systems could revolutionize how we navigate our cities.
It seems like the possibilities are endless.
They really are. It's an exciting time to be alive.
But with all this potential comes a lot of responsibility, right?
Absolutely. As AI becomes more integrated into our lives, we need to be mindful of the ethical considerations.
Yeah.
We need to ensure that AI is developed and used in a way that benefits humanity, that respects our values, and that doesn't exacerbate existing inequalities.
It's like we're at a crossroads.
We are.
AI has the potential to solve some of the world's most pressing problems. But it also poses some significant challenges.
It's a double-edged sword, for sure.
It's up to us to steer this technology in the right direction.
I agree.
We need to be informed, engaged, and proactive.
Absolutely.
In shaping the future of AI.
It's not something that's going to happen to us.
Right.
It's something we're going to create together.
Well said. It's been an incredible journey exploring all these different facets of AI.
Yeah, it has.
From AI chefs to AI dating companions. We've seen how this technology is already impacting our lives in ways we might not even realize.
It's truly remarkable.
A huge thank you to our listeners for joining us on this deep dive.
Yes. Thank you for listening.
We hope you've learned something new, had a few laughs, and maybe even been inspired to think a little differently about the future.
And remember, the future of AI is not predetermined.
Right.
It's up to all of us to shape it.
Until next time, happy diving.